Hey everyone, welcome back to Martial Moves Academy. Today we're taking a deep dive into a wild and exciting aspect of martial arts, one you probably haven't seen before. We're talking about combat skills inspired by the jungle, ones that even the legendary Bruce Lee didn't teach. That's right. While Bruce Lee revolutionized martial arts with his speed, agility, and philosophy, there's a whole side of survival and combat training that goes beyond the dojo or street fight. In this video, we're going to uncover some extreme and unconventional fighting techniques drawn from nature, specifically the jungle, that could give you a serious edge in survival situations. These are the raw, primal skills you'll want to know if you ever find yourself in a fight in the wild. So stick around till the end, because what we're about to reveal is truly eye-opening. 1. Grasping the concept of jungle combat. Let's kick things off by understanding what jungle combat is all about. Unlike traditional martial arts, which emphasize structured forms and philosophies, jungle combat is about adapting to the unpredictable and often hostile environment of the wilderness. Imagine this: fighting in dense vegetation, navigating uneven ground, and potentially facing wild animals. It's not just about your moves, it's about survival. In the jungle, you're not just up against human opponents, but nature itself. The thick foliage, rough terrain, and natural obstacles can be as much of a challenge as any adversary. These combat skills are tailored to help you make the most of your surroundings, using everything available to outlast and outwit your opponent. So, what sets jungle combat apart from what Bruce Lee taught? Let's get into it. 2. Mastering stealth and camouflage. A major component of jungle combat is camouflage and stealth, skills that Bruce Lee didn't focus on because his environment was different. Bruce was all about speed, agility, and direct combat. But in the jungle, blending into your surroundings can be just as important as how fast you throw a punch. Let's break it down. Natural camouflage. In a jungle environment, avoiding detection can be a game changer. Covering yourself with natural elements like mud, leaves, and branches helps you blend into the wild, making it harder for enemies to spot you. By altering your appearance to match your surroundings, you essentially become part of the jungle itself. Silent movement. Moving quietly is crucial when you're in a dense, unpredictable environment. Imagine navigating through thick bushes and tall grass without making a sound. This takes practice. Learning how to control your movements, avoid stepping on noisy branches, and slip through the jungle undetected can keep you hidden from both human and animal threats. Tracking and evasion. The ability to track others and evade capture is another critical jungle skill. Recognizing footprints, reading patterns in disturbed vegetation, and knowing how to move through the wild without leaving a trace can keep you one step ahead of anyone hunting you down. 3. Crafting improvised weapons and tools. Finally, let's talk about improvised weapons. While Bruce Lee often worked with traditional weapons or relied on his body, jungle combat requires a different mindset, creativity with whatever you have around you. The jungle is filled with materials you can turn into makeshift weapons or tools for survival. Whether it's sharpening a branch into a spear, fashioning a trap out of vines, or using rocks and stones for defense, knowing how to make the most of what nature provides can be the difference between life and death in a survival situation. 4. Navigating unpredictable terrain. One of the biggest challenges in jungle combat is learning to navigate difficult and unpredictable terrain. Traditional martial arts training usually takes place on flat, even surfaces, but the jungle offers no such luxury. Here you're dealing with thick roots, slippery mud, steep hills, and even waterlogged areas that can slow you down or throw off your balance. To effectively fight or escape in the jungle, you'll need to focus on a few key skills. Maintaining stability, learning to stay balanced on uneven ground is crucial. Training your body to adapt to sudden shifts in terrain, whether it's loose soil or a moss-covered rock, will help you stay on your feet. It's not just about footwork, but adjusting your entire stance to account for the ground beneath you. using the environment. Rather than viewing the jungle as an obstacle, a skilled fighter will use the environment to their advantage. Trees and vines can provide cover or be used for quick ambushes. A fallen log can become a launching point for an aerial strike, and dense undergrowth can conceal your movements. The key is to think outside the box and get creative with your surroundings. Adapting to the weather. In the wild, you're exposed to the rain can make surfaces slick, or sudden downpours can limit visibility. Learning to fight in these conditions is just as important as mastering the terrain itself. The jungle is unpredictable, and your ability to adapt to rapid weather changes could be the edge that keeps you alive. 5. Endurance and mental toughness. Fighting in the jungle isn't just physically demanding, it's a test of your mental endurance. Unlike structured sparring sessions, where you know the rules and the duration of the fight, jungle combat could last for hours or even days, depending on the situation. Here are some ways to sharpen your mental and physical resilience. Stamina training. While Bruce Lee emphasized conditioning, jungle combat takes it a step further. You need high endurance to keep moving through dense, exhausting terrain. Carrying supplies, constantly being on alert, and fighting in humid, energy-sapping conditions will drain your strength faster than you'd expect. Mental focus. Keeping a sharp mind is essential when navigating such an unpredictable environment. Fatigue can lead to mistakes, which can be fatal in survival situations. Mental toughness comes from training your mind to push through exhaustion and keep assessing your environment for threats and opportunities. Staying calm under pressure. In jungle combat, panic is your worst enemy. When you're being pursued or engaged in a fight, staying calm is key to making smart, strategic decisions. This is where breathing techniques and meditation, often emphasized in martial arts like those taught by Bruce Lee, can help. They allow you to stay centered even in the most chaotic situations. 6. Adapting martial arts techniques for jungle combat. While jungle combat introduces new elements, many martial arts techniques can be adapted to this wild environment. Let's talk about how traditional moves translate into jungle survival, low stances, and mobility. In traditional martial arts, you're often taught to maintain a low stance for balance and power. In the jungle, this becomes even more important. Low stances allow you to move stealthily and maintain your balance on uneven or unstable terrain. Short-range combat. The jungle is full of obstacles that limit your space, meaning long-range strikes may not be as effective. Close-quarters combat techniques, such as grappling and quick, powerful strikes, are more practical when you have limited movement space. This is where techniques from martial arts like Wing Chun or Krav Maga